Hi everyone, this is the another session of social science. In the previous class only I have started the lesson, that is unit 4, ancient civilizations. From that unit, means from the unit 4 I have completed about 2 civilizations, the explanation of 2 civilizations. So those are, first one is Egypt civilization, another one is one more civilization that you have learnt, Mesopotamian civilization. And today I am going to teach you with the new civilization, that is Chinese civilization. You would have observed where the country China lies. So the country China lies to the east of India. China lies to the east of India, and the yellow complexed Mongolians, these were the ancestors of China. ಅಂದರೆ ancestors ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರ ಹಿಂದಿನ ತಲೆಮಾರು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು? ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಮಂಗೋಲಿಯನ್ಸ್. These were the ancestors of Chinese. And as you know, almost all the civilizations flourished on the river bank. Even Chinese civilization also flourished on the Yangtze and Huanghe river. These are called yellow rivers. Yangtze and Huanghe rivers. On these yellow rivers, Chinese civilization flourished, and these are called, means these rivers are called cradles of Chinese civilization. ಅಂದರೆ ಚೀನೀಸ್ ಸಿವಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ತೊಟ್ಟಿಲುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಇವೆರಡು ರಿವರ್ಸನ್ನು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ initially, means in the beginning, the Chinese who all ruled in the Chinese, they started to rule from the villages. Initially they started to rule from the villages. After that, gradually they started trade relationship with the other cities, other countries. Then after that, they developed to trade relationship with the foreign also. Like this, they have grown step by step. By how they grow? By sending the goods of paddy and silk, by exporting paddy and silk from the China. Like this, they have grown step by step. So this is the introduction for the Chinese civilization. So the next point is political history of Chinese. And in the Chinese civilization, many dynasties have ruled, and the political history, the first ruling dynasty in the Chinese civilization, that is Shang dynasty. It is the first dynasty ruled in the China, and these Shang dynasty people ruled from the 18th BCE to 12th BCE. They have ruled from the 18th century to 12th century. And during the Shang dynasty, the major occupation of the people was agriculture. Means the prosperity of the Chinese, wealth of the Chinese was depend on agriculture. Majorly they were growing paddy and silk, and the Chinese had mastered, means Chinese are very good in craft, means they were producing the craft from the bronze and porcelain dishes. Porcelain ಅಂದರೆ ಪಿಂಗಾಣಿ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಪಿಂಗಾಣಿ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೀನೀಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಣರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ದೇ ವರ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ from the bronze and porcelain dishes. And after the Shang dynasty, Zhou dynasty came to rule. Zhou dynasty started to rule, and this is the dynasty ruled longer time in the China. During the Zhou dynasty, there were two philosophers, very famous philosophers. Their names were Confucius and Lao Tse. These two were the famous, and they lived during the Zhou dynasty rule. So after the Zhou dynasty, Qin dynasty started to rule in China. So in the Qin dynasty, Qi Huangdi, he was the famous king of Qin dynasty, and he also ruled for long time, and he is called first emperor of China. Qi Huangdi was called first emperor of China because he had unified all the Chinese, means he has united all the Chinese, and he brought into all people of China under uniform law. ಅಂದರೆ ಚೀನಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನರನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟುಗೂಡಿಸಿರೋ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ? ಚಿ ಹುವಾಂಗ್ ಟಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹಿ ಬಾಟ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಲಾ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಲಾ ತಂದಿದ್ಯಾರು? ಚಿ ಹುವಾಂಗ್ ಟಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಂಪರರ್ ಆಫ್ China. And one more great thing he has done, he had built 1500 mile long Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China, today also it is one of the 7 wonders of the world. So that Great Wall of China was built by Qi Huangdi. This is 1500 mile long. And this, why he built this, why he had built this wall? The reason behind that, to protect the China from the enemies, to protect the China from the onslaught of enemies. Onslaught means ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ದಾಳಿಯಿಂದ ಹಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಯಾರು ಹಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಎನಿಮೀಸ್. ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಚೀನಾ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ enemies, he had built a Great Wall of China. After the Qin dynasty, after the downfall of Qin dynasty, Han dynasty came to rule in the China. So the dynasty means the Han dynasty period, the period this dynasty ruled, that period is known as golden period of, or golden age of China, because the famous king of Han dynasty was Wu Ti. Wu Ti was the famous king of Han dynasty, and he had established a vast empire during his period. ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾದಂಥ ಎಂಪೈರನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಯಾರು? ವು ಟಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ he gained importance during his foreign trade. During his period, foreign trade gained more importance because under his rule there was great demand for silk in Rome. During the Wu Ti rule, there was very great demand for silk. ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರೇಷ್ಮೆ. ರೇಷ್ಮೆಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ರೋಮ್. ಇನ್ ದ ರೋಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, ಇನ್ ದ ಚೀನಾ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಫೇಮಸ್. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ Wu Ti started to export silk to the Rome. The route where this silk was exporting to Rome, that route became famous as the Silk Route, because silk was exporting from that route, so that it is called the Silk Route. ರೇಷ್ಮೆಯನ್ನು ರೋಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಆ ರೂಟನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಆ ರೂಟ್ ಏನಂತ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಯಿತು? ದ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ರೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ರೋಮ್, ಬುದ್ಧಿಸಮ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಟು ಚೀನಾ. because many things were imported from the Rome also. So that along with while importing the things, many Buddhist people entered to China. From there Buddhism entered into the China. And in the same period, means in the Ooty period only, the art and literature patronized, means art ಮತ್ತು ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯವನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು? ಊಟಿ. He gave more importance to the art and literature. And also because of these all improvements, his period, means Han dynasty or Ooty period, is called golden age of China, because he has done many improvements during his rule. After the Han dynasty, after the decline of Han dynasty, one more dynasty ruled, that is Sung dynasty. And this Sung dynasty came to power after the Han dynasty. During their rule, wood printing presses started during this Sung dynasty, and also production of porcelain dishes also started during this period only. And after the Sung dynasty was the last dynasty ruled in the China. This Sung dynasty was ended by the Mongolians, means Mongolians ended this Sung dynasty. After that Mongolians started to rule in the China. These Mongolians conquered the place in the China, that is Peking. Peking, it is the capital of Sung dynasty. Peking was the capital of Sung dynasty that was captured by Mongolians. So present the China capital is Beijing. That Peking, they used to call that Beijing as Peking. So this is about the political history of Chinese civilization. Next point is the contributions of Chinese civilization. So what all Chinese contributed to the world, for the ancient world. So actually these Chinese civilization people, they have contributed remarkable things to the world, to the ancient world. They are, firstly, they introduced tea and silk. Tea and silk introduced by Chinese, and paper made of bamboo. How to make paper from the bamboo, that was introduced by Chinese only. And this is the major production they introduced to the world. And next, one more thing, explosives ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಫೋಟಕಗಳನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದು ಚೀನೀಸ್. ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ರಷ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ನೋ, ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ರಷ್, ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ contributed by Chinese, invented by Chinese. And next, porcelain dishes, I told you, ಪಿಂಗಾಣಿ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು, ಕಪ್, ಸಾಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಪಿಂಗಾಣಿ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು, ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ್, ತುಂಬ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ಪೋರ್ಸೋಲಿಯನ್ನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪೋರ್ಸೋಲಿಯನ್ ಡಿಶಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪಾಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಮ್ಯಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪಾಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿಕ್ಸೂಚಿ. ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್? ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸೈಲರ್ಸ್. ನಾವಿಕರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪಾಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟು ನೋ ವೈಲ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ sea, they use this compass to actually to know the directions. ಅಂದರೆ ದಿಕ್ಕುಗಳು, ಯಾವ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಸಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿಕರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ದೀಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪಾಸನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ದಿಕ್ಸೂಚಿ. ಅದೇನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದಿಕ್ಸೂಚಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಪಿಕ್ಟೋಗ್ರಫಿಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಚೀನೀಸ್ ರೋಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪಿಕ್ಟೋಗ್ರಫಿಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್, and they used to write this pictographic script on the bamboo sticks. They used to write this pictographic script on the bamboo sticks. They used to keep it in straight, and even it is in the picture also, you can observe in the picture they used to write on a bamboo sticks. These are which script? That is pictographic script. And major contribution, that is the two philosophers from the Chinese civilization, those are Lao Tse and Confucius. They contributed their writings to the philosophy field. And this Lao Tse told, and he taught simple living and sacrifice, and how to live harmoniously with the nature, that he taught by his philosophy. So, these are the contributions of Chinese to the ancient world. So, this is about the one more civilization, that is Chinese civilization, completed by this. So, thank you. Let us meet in the next session of another civilization.